let's talk about whether to have children and when and how many. Okay? So this is a good topic. We're in a group of young marrieds without children. Okay? So the first thing that's really important is not to carry around worldly perspectives on children and family. Okay? Here are some that I picked out. You may recognize them. Okay? Just from the culture, from what things you felt or seen or heard on social media or whatever. I can do more good with my career than having a family. Living my best life means not being tied down by children. What's that?
I said you felt that.
Oh, there's so much evil in the world. I can't bring a child into it. You know how Jesus feels about that? We'll see in a moment.
Yeah.
Because you are the light of the world. We, all of God's children are the light of the world. And, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Children and people in general are bad for the planet. We need fewer of them.
That's out there.
Raising a family is too hard, and I might fail. So if you feel attached to any of these, maybe you didn't even know that you felt attached to any of these. If you feel attached to them, just pray about it, talk about it, meditate on it. But I think all these things are things that would probably be released for growing children of God. Okay? Here's some spiritual perspectives on children and family. In Genesis 1, where God where Genesis lays out God's intentions for the world, right? His hopes and dreams for the world, right? God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful, increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Okay? Here in Psalm 127, children are a heritage from the Lord. And some translations say children are a blessing from the Lord. Offspring, a reward from him. Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. And then two thoughts just to meditate on. God is a father. Is his role as a parent something that's worth imitating, something that's worth embracing? Christian families are a light to the world. Okay? So those are some things to think about, to meditate on. Now, let me just say, before I go any further, it's super important that we honor one another's decisions, okay? This is not in any way a discussion which would want to dishonor anyone's decisions. Because frankly, no two people are alike. No two couples are exactly alike. You have different life situations. Mm-hmm. So it's good that we honor one another's decisions. I'm just talking about this because it's a relevant topic, right? Right? And it's good to have those ideas that are good to think about. So consider your marriage, okay? Marriage is difficult, isn't it?
Yes.
But let me ask you, has it been worth it?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Difficult? Yes. Worth it? Oh, so worth it. Your spouse is the most important person in the world to you. The most important. Your marriage is the most important project you will ever undertake. And there are some lessons in life you will never learn unless you get married and persevere with it. Now, we love our single friends. And they're awesome. Jesus was single. Paul may have been single. Okay? Jesus, we're really highly confident he was single. So there's nothing unspiritual about being single. But to my single friends who are interested in my thoughts and my advice, you know what? There are so many spiritual lessons and so much spiritual maturity that you just will not have the opportunities for growth that your married brothers and sisters do. Mm-hmm. I mean, our marriage is chock full of opportunities to grow. Yes. Okay, well, given that I think we're probably pretty uniform on this in this room. Yeah, we totally relate to this. Similarly, parenting is difficult, but so worth it. Those little munchkins, they're so adorable. Your children are the second most important people in the world to you. Okay? Who's the first? Your spouse. Okay, so this is saying nothing bad about children. Those children are way up there. Your children are the second most important people in the world to you. Your family is the second most important project you will ever undertake. It's just a bigger form of the first project, which is your marriage. There are some lessons in life you will never learn unless you have children and persevere with it. I remember saying when I was single, I'm a really patient man. I'm really growing in this. This is one of my strengths. And then I got married and I realized, whoa, this is something I need to work on. And then I had children and I realized it was a weakness. Those situations served up innumerable opportunities for growth. Our advice on having children, now this is general advice, okay? Not tailored to any particular person. But if someone came up and said, what are your thoughts on having children? We honor everyone for their decisions to get married or not, to have children or not. However, these decisions should be made spiritually, not for worldly reasons. Makes sense, right? So our general advice is this: wait a few years to enjoy your spouse. The period you're in is so wonderful and so valuable. And no one is an expert on when, that should come to an end, okay? Except you. So we honor one another in our decisions. Spend time with your spouse. That's amazing. Then try to have children. I think about a couple of years, okay? But different people in different situations. Some people may want to get on with it. Some people may want to. It really is your decision. I'm just bringing these issues up. But after a while, every year you wait is a year you will miss from enjoying them in adulthood and enjoying your grandchildren. Right? So that's just something to think about. I mean, Susan and I got married late-ish, 30 and 33. My parents were 40 when I was born. So fortunately, they got to see their 3 grandchildren, who are our 3 children. But they didn't get to see them grow to maturity. And that would have been cool. And you'll never regret having 2 to 4 children. So you can have 1 child. That's your choice. That's your choice. Okay.
It's fun, Brett.
No. I know that the prevailing culture would say minimize 1 or 2. It's so hard. It's so painful. It's so you don't want to be outnumbered. But let me tell you, every single one of those children is a total blessing. It's a total blessing. And if you have 1 by surprise at some point, or maybe 2, then, down the line, you just think, I can't imagine life without these additional one or two. And by the way, if you're worried about the planet, right, we're in a demographic time bomb because women are not having an average of 2 children per woman. And the U.S. is in a modest time bomb. There are other areas of the world that are in a gigantic time bomb. And their society, as they currently understand it, will dramatically change for the worse in 30 years.
Because people
Maybe.
are not having kids?
Yeah.
Because people are not having kids. Anyway, it's a growth opportunity, I promise you. And you will be a richer, fuller, more Christ-like, more godly person through that process.